G'day Rugby League Tragics, it's the Rugby League guy here with round 2 tips. Now, read the fine print, here's the caveat. Don't follow my tips, don't put anything of any importance, be it money, mortgages, your children, a kidney. Don't bet any of that stuff on my tips. But here they are, short and sweet. Round 2, 2022. Let's kick it off. Melbourne and Souths. Melbourne. Latrell's back, but I just still think Melbourne are going to be too good, particularly down there. Dragons and the Panthers. Got the Panthers. You just can't go past the Panthers. Until they lose a game, you just got to keep tipping them. And even then, I'll probably keep tipping them. You got the Roosters and the Sea Eagles. I'm taking the Roosters on that one. Again, as I said last week, I think Manly are just running on slightly older legs, and I think the Roosters will certainly, although they're both coming in off a round 1 loss, I think, and they're both, fairly hard taskmasters by way of coaches. I think the Roosters will get up in that one. Then it's the Titans and the Warriors. I've gone with the Titans in a fairly close game, but the Titans nonetheless. They will be reeling after that round 1 loss. The Warriors will be disappointed if they lost round 1 as well, when they were probably fairly close to, being in a position to get the Dragons. But I think the Titans are probably just the better side and should get the money on that one. The Sharks and the Eels. Taking the Eels, although they are without a few players now, including young Sean Russell, who's now out indefinitely with broken ribs and a punctured lung after that game against the Titans last week. I still think the Eels are going to be too strong for the... who are they playing? The Sharks. So I think the Eels will get that one. And the thing about that is that, I've tipped the Sharks as being one of those teams that'll be thereabouts at the end of the season in the top 8. But, after 2 rounds, they could easily find themselves 0 and 2. So it'll be interesting to see how they come back. But Craig Fitzgibbon will be there this week after being absent last week with what's that thing? COVID. Anyway, Eels to beat the Sharks. Raiders to beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys, they were ordinary last week against the Bulldogs. And I think Canberra will beat them by about 14. That's what I've put down as the margin on that game. Knights, West Tigers. Look, I think this will probably be a little bit closer than, some may think. But I tip the Knights to get up in that one. Close game though. I reckon there's probably only 2 to 4 points in it, but I think it'll be the Knights, particularly just with that home ground advantage. And then to cap off the round, it's my beloved Doggies up against the Brisbane Broncos. That one's being played down in Sydney, so Doggies home game, first one in a while because everybody was playing the last part of 2021 up in Queensland, of course. So the Dogs home ground advantage. I still don't know that it's going to be enough, and for the second week in a row, I'm tipping against the Bulldogs, and it's just purely on that Adam Reynolds influence with him returning. Kelly at 5'8", and young Billy Walters, I think he'll be a great inclusion off the bench, although he was fantastic in the halves last week. I think he'll really give some impact off the bench. Again, young Cobbo, I think they'll need to watch him. The Bulldogs, again, they got 2 points, but it was against a very ordinary team. I still don't think the halves are the right halves. I still don't think the hooker's the right hooker. And I still think there's a couple other players that could be there and should be there in the team that are probably just will better serve the team. So with that in mind, I think the Broncos will get the money. But, of course, I will be shouting out loud, scaring the neighbours as always, on Sunday. So that's my round 2 tips. Again, just to reiterate, don't bet anything of any importance on those tips. Don't listen to me. All right, it'll be a tragic end, but they're my tips nonetheless. Enjoy the weekend of footy. I'll see you Monday for the round 2 wrap up. In the meantime, love your rugby league, and see you Monday. Toodles.